Well, Cal, news pool for the last time.
Yeah, I'm really glad you found a way to escape Mercator, but I'll really miss you and all this lot.
No more Cal, no more Earth events.
Why don't you take a time stone with you?
No, there's no point. They're unique to this planet. They absorb events from out in the universe, and we play them in the news pool on Parallel 9, but they'd be useless on Zarb. It'd be like trying to play a CD on a record player.
I think steel CD would sound better that way.
Well, at least the time stones have allowed us to share Earth events together, haven't they?
Yeah, and I've got the latest batch all fresh and ready for you.
You are good. First one. Balloons. Is it a party?
No, it's a race. The first ever transatlantic balloon race, actually.
The Atlantic is the ocean that separates your country from America.
That's right. So these balloonists taking off from Bangor in America have got quite a trip ahead of them. The journey takes around 3 days by balloon, assuming the weather's good.
And how many balloonists are taking part?
Well, 5 teams of 2 people from Britain, Holland, America, Germany and Belgium, all flying at a height of around 2 miles over the sea.
It can't be an easy journey.
No, in fact, only 5 of the last 16 attempts to cross the Atlantic like this have succeeded.
That journey looks as dangerous as our escape may be, but surely there must be easier ways of getting to Europe.
There are. And this next stone also involves Europe, or rather, the way a certain thing is done in Europe.
It sounds very intriguing.
Watch.
Ah, an Earth school.
Yes, some people responsible for schools in Britain think that pupils would be better off if they were run on Continental lines.
You mean baguettes and frog's legs for lunch?
No, different hours. European schools start at 8:30 and finish at 2:15. A few British schools have tried these hours, like this one in Liverpool, where they've gone down as well as the breakfast the school provide. Supporters of the idea reckon earlier start and finish times mean pupils are more wide awake in lessons and have less accidents going home in winter because it's still light. Plus, there's more time after school for clubs and societies.
So will more schools adopt these hours?
Well, looks like it. At the moment, Hammersmith and Fulham Council are asking parents, teachers and pupils whether the Continental hours should be introduced into their schools.
And what do they think?
Well, the pupils certainly seem to be in favour.
I nearly fall asleep in afternoons because I'm tired after the mornings, and so I think it's a good idea having a little lunch break and ending school earlier. And
the council will decide whether to adopt the new hours in time for the next school year.
I like getting up early. Think if I'd been able to escape from my time pod every morning, I would have seen so many things, I could have done so many things during all my imprisonment.
Well, think of all the spare time you'll have on your hands once you've escaped.
That's true. I'm going to take up some of your Earth hobbies, like stamp collecting and embroidery. Or perhaps when I get back to Zarb, I'll cause a revolution. I'll overthrow the Zarbian government.
Well, before you do, how about one last stone? Chuck it in, Mercator.
Here it is.
Now, here's something unusual. A ski slope.
What's unusual about that?
It's indoors.
Someone has a mountain in their house?
No, not the house. This slope has been specially built in Telford. It's the first indoor slope in the world to use real snow all year round. And it'll also be used for tobogganing.
And I bet it makes great ice cubes.
How about one final glimpse of Earth before you go?
Yes.
Walking the globe might just sound like a way of getting very sore feet. In actual fact, it's one of the skills taught at Albert & Friends Instant Circus in West London. Here's a look at some of the other things the children learn, including this, which should definitely not be...
Home where my heart is...
Don't you think you're taking a bit much?
The Mercator said to take 1 bag, and that is all I am taking. Give me my juggling balls. 1, 2, 3... do you think so? Do you think I should take the sofa out?
I think so.
Attention, all those travelling to Zarb. Boarding will begin at the Tope Pool in 10 minutes. Mind the gap. I repeat, boarding will begin at the Tope Pool in 10 minutes.
Oh, this is it. Did you hear the Tope? We'll soon be leaving Parallel 9 for good.
Yes, and as we're going our separate ways, I think it's about time that I set
hold
you
on,
still.
Skin, please.
Yes.
Think so. This is a private conversation. If you wouldn't mind excusing us.
Yes.
Skin.
Yes.
I came over here to apologise.
Apologise?
Yes, for all the arguments over the last few months.
Oh, that's the point I was making, you see, because the arguments were my fault.
Bless you for saying so, Skin, but if you think back and remember, you'll remember that actually they were my fault.
No, actually, I was saying my fault for not being tolerant, you see.
They weren't.
And not listening to your point of view all the time.
I said they weren't your fault.
They were too.
Were not.
They were too.
Were not.
Were too.
I am far more argumentative than you.
Are not.
And two.
Are not.
And two.
Are not.
And two.
Are not.
Can I make a suggestion?
No.
Nice to see Skin and Steel making their peace at last. I'm sure they'll miss their lively conversations with each other. As for me, I shall miss the wonderful variety of guests I've been allowed to summon from Earth. In fact, I think I'll summon one more for the road, so to speak. Well, actually, it's one more for the launch pad, really.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thunderbirds are go.
Do you recognise this hat?
3 words together, you get super marionation. The other week I was being interviewed on radio and somebody said, what does that mean? And they said, I suppose it really means posh puppets. And I think that about sums it up.
Well, they are very posh, aren't they?
Absolutely.
Now, Thunderbirds was first shown in '64, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
And it's recently been shown again, with much the same effect. Everybody loves it, me included. Why do you think it's lasted so long?
Well, when the show was first made in '64, and when it went on air, there was really nothing like it. And now, I suppose 26 years later, if you think about it, there's still nothing like it. And I think people watch it out of curiosity because it's so different.
It's absolute. I love it. Let's see some more of our fab friends in action. Thunderbird 2, my favourite. My brother used to have one of these with little Thunderbird 4 inside. They're brilliant. All your characters were named after American astronauts, weren't they?
Yes, they were named after the early American astronauts. Sometimes people wonder whether their faces were based on them. But, I mean, they were my heroes at that time. Very, very brave men. But, of course, brave men aren't always good-looking.
True.
And we wanted to create really good-looking superheroes, so we started from scratch.
Who was your favourite?
You mean in the whole series?
Yeah.
Normally, you know, I say Parker to people, but I have to tell you today, looking at Lady Penelope, she looks
She's
so
stunning,
absolutely stunning today.
I love her as well. Here she
I have
is
to change my mind.
with puppeteer Christine, who looks stunning as well. Christine, and Lady Penelope, I'm honoured to meet you. Christine, welcome to Parallel 9. Have you been with Penelope since she was born, I suppose I'd say?
Yes, I have. Yes.
All that time. And has she changed much?
No, she's still the same cool customer that she always was.
Is it the actual same puppet that you used then?
Well, it isn't the original body, it's the original head.
Right.
And we had to make a puppet of Penelope for a commercial, so we had to have another body made. And so that's, it in fact works better than the original one.
My claim to fame is I've seen Lady Penelope with a hairnet on. I think Parker's brilliant as well. Parker's actually got leather gloves. He's brilliant, isn't he? Actually, real leather gloves.
Yes.
I think that's amazing.
Yes.
So when you actually finished the series in the beginning, did you rescue the head?
Yes.
And make this new body? I mean, who makes the puppets?
Well, the head was in. I took the head with full permission from Gerry. Let me hasten to say.
Agreed, absolutely.
And it was in my toolbox for about 25 years.
Oh, that's terrible.
It hadn't got its wig on. Just the head, looking fairly sorry for.
Where does she live now?
Oh, she lives at my house
in
now.
Tissue paper in a box or just on the sofa?
Well, she's hanging up on the stand.
Is she?
Yes.
Her costume's also brilliant. I think she's so pretty.
Yes, it's a lovely costume.
Absolutely
isn't it?
lovely. Well, I think another of my favourites was, of course, Troy on the underwater adventure Stingray. Let's see some of him.